today is a continuation of my personal project for vlogging, and I got a lot of great comments and suggestions in my previous two videos, so I wanted to try and implement those today. The suggestions I got were to try using a wider angle lens, and then also try using a selfie stick. And then there was also a suggestion about recording the video externally to a separate device, either your cell phone or a recording device. And I've done that before with my Pen-F, and I have a video when I was vlogging with my Pen-F, and all of that audio was recorded externally. So, the problem with that is, you have to, if you want to go out and take pictures and vlog at the same time, you end up with like the last video I made, I had 42 clips of video and then dozens of pictures, and it would have been a nightmare to try to resync all the audio and video clips back together in post-processing. So I think there's ways with time coding, and there may be some other tricks that I'm not aware of. I just haven't found a solution to easily sync audio back to video when you're vlogging in the style that I do, where I like to take out the camera and just stop and take some pictures of the places I'm at. So if you guys know of any way, please leave me a comment in the suggestions, or a suggestion in the comments below. I greatly appreciate it, because ultimately recording externally is the best way to go. So all that being said, right now I am shooting on my 12mm f2 lens, and so it's certainly wider than the 15mm, and I think significantly so, because we're talking about going from a 24mm equivalent from a 30mm equivalent. And with the image stabilization, you're probably closer to about 28mm versus 35mm. But this is what the 12mm looks like, and I have the continuous focus with tracking on, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job. But I'm not walking around much right now, so I'll do that a little bit later, and we'll see how well it tracks. I'm back out at Old Fort Hunt Road. And I'm also holding the camera using my tabletop tripod mounted to the camera. And one of the challenges with using a tripod on this camera is the screen flips to the bottom, and then you can't get the tripod to fit properly, or if you do, the screen won't come all the way down and the image will still be upside down. But I have solved that problem using a simple flash bracket, and the flash bracket actually solved a couple of problems I was having, and not having, but one was obviously, I can move the tripod off center from the camera so that now it's not blocking the screen. And then also this flash bracket came with a cold shoe, and basically what I did is I unscrewed that cold shoe and taped it to the top of the camera. So if I wanted to put my Boya mic on top and not have this wire, I could do it that way, because the Boya mic I think sounded pretty good. But that being said, let's see what else we got. This is, this looks like a bunker of some kind here at the fort, and it's a little bit too dark to be going into those little rooms, but I'll see if there's anything remotely interesting. There's probably a bunch of beer cans and crap in there. Okay, so I'm going to continue walking. This is me going up some steps, so we can again see if the stabilization is any better. And technically it's not better, it's just a matter of using a wider angle lens, and I'm using my tripod to hold the camera. Let's continue this vlogging project and see how this works. And I'm gonna switch over to my selfie stick and see how that looks. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, so now we're set up here with the selfie stick mounted onto my flash bracket, and that looks pretty good, I think. And I still have the camera in tracking mode for focus, so we'll see how it keeps up. I mean, it might be better just to set the camera to manual focus, But I'm gonna go back to my 15mm lens and see how that works out. But now instead of the weight being, you know, all in my shoulder, and my shoulder has to do all the work, it's now down here in my wrist. But either way, it's not that heavy, but so it doesn't take a lot of strength, but the trick is really endurance, right? Because when you're vlogging, you have to hold this thing for God knows how long. It's enough of that. Let's walk around and see how this looks with being on a selfie stick, because these are actually two of the main suggestions that I got was use a wider angle lens and use the selfie sticks for a little bit smoother video. So I think, again, this is on very uneven ground and my wrist is a little bit shaky because again, it's not that it's that heavy, it's just a matter of building up endurance to hold the thing for any length of time. All right, so I'm back on the 15mm lens, and you know, honestly, I can tell the difference in weight already between the 12mm, which I believe is about 120 gram lens, and this pancake lens I think is like 10 grams. And I can tell the difference in the weight on the selfie stick with just that little bit of difference. And with the flash bracket, still adding weight of about 100 grams. Oh, there goes another deer running behind me. They're all over the place out here. I don't know, this seems better, right? I mean, I think just the fact of it being further away kind of smooths things out naturally without having to work too hard, right? But I really love the color and clarity I'm getting from this 15mm lens. Okay, I'm walking on fairly level ground here. How does this look? All right, now we're approaching the picnic tables. I love how the trees are giving these leading lines up to me, right? It's kind of nice. Okay, so I've made it back to my car here, and that's pretty much it for the day. The park is closing soon, so I need to head out, but thanks again for the suggestions. Hopefully this wide angle lens thing worked out with the selfie stick. I won't know till I get back in post and process those. So, but I think they're going to look pretty good. And also, you know, the reason I'm doing this is, you know, I want to get out there in the field and do some tutorials, you know, more like in real life situations, because, you know, like the video I did on black and white, you know, I appreciate the great feedback on that. You know, I was just taking pictures on the back of my computer or on my computer screen, which, you know, for practice at home, that's really an easy way to, you know, start learning how different settings in the camera work, is just by taking different pictures on your computer screen. But it's nowhere near as dynamic or interesting as, you know, getting out there in the field, right? So I'm going to do that, and that's the main reason I'm doing this vlogging project, is to do better tutorials. Okay, so if you have any other suggestions or comments for me, I appreciate that. Just leave them in the comments below. But otherwise, hopefully we'll see you again soon. Yeah, I'm not going in here. I didn't bring my flashlight. It's too dark. Go in here. It's very dark in here. Ooh, there's a bat in there. I may have to get in the car. It looks like some kind of dead animal in there. I don't know where they're running to. It's a cliff over there. Had a couple cannons mounted here, looking over the water to, you know, shoot the big metal balls.